something I believe we were just watching. Not really sure though. No, it's not. It's not Israeli media. It says this week in South Florida. Okay. Which might go lie, bro. Florida might as well be new Israel, guys. I'm not even gonna lie. Florida is now new Israel. Damn near all of their politicians bought by AIPAC. All of them? Yeah, bro. Florida is new Israel.
And the UN has said this does not apply to what many people might think as a disproportionate wartime action.
This is a guy named Oliver.
Nah, you know what's so crazy? They want to talk about Dearborn, Michigan has been taken by Muslims. Yeah, and Florida is now controlled by Israel. What's the bigger problem, bro?
Larkin, he's a DSA candidate vying to unseat a Democratic Zionist, Jared Moskowitz, in his South Florida district. He goes on a local TV news show this week in South Florida with someone named Glenna Milberg of Local 10 News. And watch it go off the rails when he says Israel is committing a genocide. Let's watch.
Israel is committing a genocide in
That's
Gaza.
incorrect. That is factually incorrect.
It has been.
You know, it'd be so crazy. They just say it's so slick, so smooth. That's incorrect. That's factually incorrect. How is it factually incorrect? I mean, even by the standards that they debated by, it is correct. Like, here's the thing. Now, remember, every time you debate a Zionist and you bring up the whole, oh, yeah, Israel's committing a genocide, they said, we're not according to the UN definition of a genocide. Well, guess what? In June 2026, guys, about 2 months ago, yeah, they've confirmed that Israel is committing a genocide due to their systematic targeting of women and children. So now we're talking about genocide scholars agree that Israel's committing a genocide. The International Criminal Courts agree that Israel's committing a genocide. And now you got the UN agreeing that Israel's committing a genocide. I mean, there's really nowhere else for you guys to go now. Israel's committing a genocide. I mean, even by y'all standards at this point, Israel has now been determined to be committing a genocide. And it's kind of crazy how we had to wait for all these organizations, all these associations to finally come down with the same fucking verdict for you guys to understand it. Now I wonder how y'all gonna move the goalpost. How you gonna move it now? Because you did say, oh, well, the UN, it doesn't fit the UN definition of genocide. Well, now it does. So now what? I mean, you didn't want to listen to the genocide scholars. You didn't want to listen to the International Criminal Court in their case against Israel. You didn't want to do that. Well, now that let's see here. But now that you got the UN pretty much agreeing, what now? I mean, that was one of y'all stipulations is that, oh, well, you got to go with the UN definition of genocide. Well, the UN now agrees that Israel's committing a genocide. What now?
Regarded by the United Nations and Amnesty International and even Israeli human rights organizations, including B'Tselem. There's
the definition of genocide in the UN. The UN has said this does not apply to what many people might think as a disproportionate wartime action. That's what that is in many people's minds. Genocide is a very specific thing. Actually, genocide being committed.
Nah, that is insane. It's like they ain't got no, bro. They ain't got no Air Force, no military, no army. Well, no, they got. I guess you can count it, but let's be real though. Hamas, they're not a real army. They're not a real military force. They're honestly just a bunch of Palestinians with an AK-47s. That's their resistance group. So you really can't call this a war, honestly. But I mean, that's what Israel loves to say all the time. Even though they ain't got no Air Force, no Navy, nor nothing like that, but it is what it is. But all right, guys, go ahead and enjoy this nice little clip right here, pretty much explaining this. Well, oh, wait, my bad, wrong clip. Hold on, let me make sure I got the right one.
Against Jewish people, not by Israel. And that's just a fact.
I mean, the United Nations recently in Geneva found that the IDF had deliberately targeted women and children. There's been famine conditions imposed over the Gaza Strip by the blockading of aid entering the Strip. There's been indiscriminate bombing of hospitals, of mosques, of churches.
Thank you.
Again, I'm going to have to stop you as that is factually not correct.
That is factually correct. It has been reported by human rights organizations and the UN, and the ICC. It's like, bro, where else can y'all go? It's like, bro, yes, the IDF has been deliberately targeting women and children. That's why the UN has now agreed that you guys are committing a genocide.
The blockading of aid entering the Strip. There's been indiscriminate bombing of hospitals, of mosques, of churches.
Again, I'm going to have to stop you, as that is factually not correct. But I hear you talking about something very important to a lot of people, and certainly who think that way. But as a congressman, and I'm being told we have to wrap. But as a congressman for District 25, I'm hoping your viewers will be able to hear you flesh that out a little more.
What the
First of all,
Hey,
disproportionate wartime action is what she calls the genocide. That would require an opposing army.
Thank you.
Not mothers and children. It's like saying that Pompeii was a disproportionate response to forgetting your morning prayers to the gods, okay? And always use a woman to whitewash a global crime, because then any rebuke comes off as a combination of anti-Semitism and sexism. But one or the other alone doesn't have any effect
But
anymore.
all right, guys, I found the clip, guys. So quick little 5-minute break. Enjoy.
This is another bizarre day living in the occupied country of the United States of Israel.
Israel is committing a genocide in
That's
Gaza.
incorrect. That is factually incorrect.
It has
That's
been regarded
propaganda.
by
We'll meet Glenna Milberg. She should have her journalist license revoked and be removed from TV for spreading lies.
at the United Nations and Amnesty International and
Facts.
even Israeli human rights organizations, including B'Tselem. There's
The
a number
definition
of
of genocide in the UN has said this, does not apply to what many people might think as a disproportionate wartime action.
To go to war with somebody, they have to have an army, navy, and an air force. They have none of that. They are Palestinian prisoners.
That's what that is in many people's minds. Genocide is a very specific thing.
Genocide is not only for the Holocaust. Other motherfuckers committed, like this genocidal country that is committing it right now against the Palestinians. And they're going to try to go into Lebanon, Syria, and Egypt.
Actually, genocide being committed against Jewish people, not by Israel.
Message to all the normal Jews out there: anti-Semitism will continue to rise if you do not speak out against Bibi the bomber in that genocidal country. If you continue to just try to blatantly lie and act like, I have no idea what's happening over there, people will continue to conflate you as Zionists, and you will be more and more hated day by day.
And that's just a fact.
I mean, the United Nations recently in Geneva found that the IDF had deliberately targeted women and children. There's been famine conditions imposed over the Gaza Strip by the blockading of aid entering the Strip. There's been indiscriminate bombing of hospitals, of mosques, of churches.
Again, I'm going to have to stop you, as that is factually not correct.
That's why I'm beginning invited on TV, because he's so much more respectful than me. I'm not. What, bitch? Shut the fuck up. That is factually correct. You guys have blown up hospitals, double tapped them. You guys have killed more journalists than all of World War I, World War II, and the Vietnam War combined. You guys have constantly stopped aid from flowing in to the country of Palestine. So what the fuck are you talking about exactly? Hello? Stupid bitch.
But I hear you talking about something very important to a lot of people, and certainly who think that way. But as a congressman, and I'm being told we have to wrap.
Oh, surprise, surprise. Oliver Larkin says the quiet part out loud, and next thing you know, oh, we gotta cut. He's no. He's not peddling the lies that we thought he was going to. So right now we're no. Florida, you know how we rock with Zionism. Jesus, Bibi the bomber's son is here. This is national security of defense, and for whatever reason, our media says nothing about it. Imagine if somebody said we should hang Zionists one by one. Like I said, you may be fuck around and thrown in prison, but they act like this isn't even said, even though this is a person that walks around with a noose pin, put on video, manhandling people from the flotilla, and they're like, we're gonna reprimand him. Yeah, with what?
Most Gazans understand they have nothing to look for in Gaza. By the way, go up to the roof here. You don't even need binoculars. Anyone who looks from here understands that in the next 20 years, there is nothing to look for there. And that's perfectly fine. So it must remain an eternal ruin. It shall not be rebuilt, as a reminder of iniquity for anyone around us who ever conceives of doing to the Jewish people what these Nazis did.
I always wonder if they understand that they're the Nazis, or they're just so brainwashed since birth that they really think that they're on the path of righteousness. Because, I mean, the fact that Mamdani is surrounded by who they consider terrorists and people that they want to kill and are on their kill list or have killed already, and he says, don't let them win, that would be like putting him next to Adolf, but that would be accurate. This is just false and lying about somebody that you don't like because they want to arrest you because you're a fucking war criminal. You're wondering why you stopped hearing about the attack on the synagogue? Well, it's because the guy wanted so badly to be Israeli and accepted by Judaism, and obviously once he got there, they're like, you're a goy. We don't fuck with you, get the fuck out. And then he spazzed out and started spitting on them, because that's what they do over there in Israel to Christians, and said that they were fake Jews. So a man that was so blindly supporting Israel finds out he can't get accepted by people that are actually from Israel, and then bugs the fuck out. But they call it an anti-Semitic attack. How could it be anti-Semitic if he's trying to be Semitic?